Remove the door to the crankcase. Turn the crosshead down far enough to give access to the piston rod stuffing box and the screws for the piston rod. Release the stuffing box by removing the innermost screws for stuffing box flange. Remove the screws from the piston rod. Mount the two distance pieces on the piston rod foot to protect the lower scraper ring and to guide the stuffing box. Dismount the cylinder cover. See procedure 9011 or see video number 30, cylinder cover overhaul. Make a scratch mark in liner and piston cleaning ring to ensure the correct mounting. Remove the piston cleaning ring. Carefully remove any wear ridges at the top of the cylinder liner. See procedure 9031. Turn the crosshead towards top dead center while checking that the stuffing box lands correctly on the distance pieces. Turn to top dead center. The top of the piston is now free of the cylinder liner. Clean the lifting groove of the piston crown . Mount the lifting tool in such a manner that the two fixed claws of the tool fit into the lifting groove of the piston. Fit the third adjustable claw and tighten it up against the stop of the tool. See Data 102.1. Lift the piston out of the cylinder liner. Lower the piston rod foot and stuffing box through the opening in the platform. Place the two halves of the support around the piston rod and secure the two halves with screws. Land the piston on the support. Remove the lifting tool from the piston crown. Place a cover over the opening for the piston rod stuffing box in the bottom of the cylinder liner. See procedure 9031. Before dismantling the piston rings, measure the free ring gap of all the piston rings. Take off the piston rings by means of the ring expander. Clean and inspect the rings and measure the radial width of the rings. Note down the results. See the instruction book, Volume 1, Chapter 707. Clean the piston crown. Check the ring grooves. The maximum vertical height in a worn ring groove must not exceed the value stated in the datasheet. Check the burn-away by means of the template. For maximum permissible burn-away value, see datasheet 1021. Mount the piston rings with the top mark upwards . And the ring gap staggered 180 degrees. Lift the piston with the lifting tool. Land the piston rod foot on a wooden plank. During the lift, follow with the crane to keep the crane positioned vertically above the lifting point. Lower the piston crown to the platform . and land it on a wooden plank so that it's possible to remove the lifting tool. Remove the lifting tool. Mount the lifting bracket to the bottom of the piston rod foot. Hook the crane onto the lifting bracket. Lift the piston rod clear of the wooden plank. Keep lifting until the piston rod is in a vertical position. Dismount the locking wire and the innermost screws between the rod and the piston crown. Lift the piston rod away. Remove the screws in the skirt and mount 2 eye bolts in the holes intended for dismantling screws. Lift the skirt away. Clean and inspect all parts of the piston. Remove the sealing ring on the piston rod.
Andreas, skal jeg ikke lige få dig til at gå lidt længere derudad? Nej, ikke så meget af det. Store rave hul i ozonlaget.
Remove the sealing ring from the piston skirt. Mount a new sealing ring on the piston skirt coated with lubricating oil. Mount the piston skirt.
Det skal vi ikke vise, vel? Højbollet
cirkler.
Jeg tror ikke, vi skal lade de der... Ja, det ved jeg ikke. Det må du. Lægger de håndlaget op på kanten af stemplet.
Okay.
Ja, bare lad os sige det.
Coat all screws with molybdenum disulfide and mount the screws in the skirt. Remove the eye bolts. Clean the piston rod. Mount 2 guide screws in the piston crown to ensure correct mounting. Mount a new sealing ring on the piston rod coated with lubricating oil. Install the piston rod into the piston crown. Coat all screws with molybdenum disulfide and mount the screws.
Skal vi finde en mere?
Ja, ja.
Vil du have?
Er du klar?
Yes.
Tighten all the screws diagonally. See datasheet 1021. Lock all the screws with locking wire. Mount the locking wire in such a way that the wire is tightened if one of the screws works loose. See procedure 9137. Dismount the lifting bracket from the piston rod foot. Fill the piston and piston rod with lubricating oil. Mount the pressure testing tool around the base of the piston rod. Pressure test the piston at the pressure stated on the data sheet. Check the contact surfaces of the piston and the sealing rings for tightness. Release the pressure. Remove the pressure testing tool. Mount the piston rod stuffing box. See procedure 9022 or video number 32, piston rod stuffing box. Mount the lifting tool on the piston crown. Remove the support tool from the piston. Remove the cover from the piston rod stuffing box opening in the bottom of the cylinder unit. Remove the protective rubber cover from the crosshead. Clean the piston rod. Coat the stuffing box sealing ring with grease. Lubricate the piston rod with lubricating oil. Mount the guide ring for piston rings on the cylinder liner. Lower the piston into the cylinder liner. Lubricate the piston rings with lubricating oil. Guide the piston rod foot through the cutout in the stuffing box flange. And land the piston rod foot on the top of the crosshead. Remove the lifting tool from the piston crown and the guide ring from the cylinder liner. Coat the top of the piston with lubricating oil. Turn the piston down. Remove the distance pieces from the piston rod foot. Mount the innermost screws in the stuffing box flange and tighten to the specified torque. See datasheet 102.1. Mount and tighten the piston rod screws. Tighten the screws to the specified torque and lock the screws with locking wire. See procedure 9137. Mount the piston cleaning ring according to the scratch marks. Mount the cylinder cover. See procedure 9011 or video number 30, cylinder cover overhaul.